You are about to start the Productivity Management module. This module is arranged into 3 lessons as follows. Lesson 1, Using IT. Lesson 2, Reviewing IT. And Lesson 3, Improving Productivity. This lesson consists of 4 topics. Planning and preparing your IT task. Identifying the right IT system to carry out your task. Ensuring your plan is compliant with company and legal requirements. Completing your IT task. In this lesson, you will learn about ways in which you can use information technology, IT, to improve your productivity at work. When we speak of IT, we really mean the tools and systems that make up our use of computer technology in the workplace, and indeed at home. In this module, you will learn how you can be more efficient by planning your use of IT tools and systems, selecting the right tool for the right job, and generally working faster. An IT system, such as the Internet, allows us to communicate through emails, while organizations have their own internal IT systems that help with their workload and administration. This first topic deals with the purpose of your IT tasks so that you can then choose the appropriate IT tools or systems for it. The use of IT allows us to work much faster and better than before computers were commonplace. Using IT tools appropriately, however, can really save on time and effort. Therefore, it is important to plan your task. In order to plan and select appropriate systems and tools to complete the task, we need to outline some key questions about the information the task will produce. Who is it for? When is it needed? What is it for? And how and where it is to be used. John works for himself as an events management consultant. He is organizing a combined product launch and charity event for one of his clients. John needs to create an email invitation to the event for potential interested parties. From John's example, there are key points to understand the purpose and scope of a task. What are the resources, skills, and IT tools and systems needed for an IT task? This topic deals with this question. John decided to create an email invitation that contains the date and time of the event and the product launch name and the location. He needs the invitation to be attractive and fun, but professional, as well as use his client's product and company names. John knows when he needs to have the invitation sent out and who he needs to send it to. John has all the information he needs to perform the task. First, let's look at the resources for the task. Resources can range from contact names and email addresses, images, graphic art and reference material, to a particular software program. In John's example, he identified he will need the email addresses of all the employees in his client's company, along with an industry mailing list, the agenda for the event, and graphic artwork and photography to make the invitation attractive. John's client provided him with the product information for the event and the location and time. But John had to search for and develop artwork to suit his client's values and the overall message about the event. There are a number of ways you can find information on your IT systems. You can search the Internet or on your network or intranet. You can look for files on your local PC, or you can search your email history. Click each source of information to learn more about it. You can use some of the powerful search engines on the Internet to find information that you might find useful, including potential useful images. You can search by words or phrases, and refine them to pinpoint what you're looking for. You can find information on your own company network where useful and regularly accessed information is normally made available on centralized storage drives and folders. If you are on a network, you may be able to access shared folders of PCs other than your own. If you need information from your colleagues, you can call them or you can send an email. Next, you should consider what skills you'll require to complete your IT task successfully. Continuing with John's example, to make an invitation, he will need to know about the format and layout of the invitation and how to create a suitable artwork to make it appealing. The IT tool or application required to carry out a task will depend on the standard and style of the finished product that you have to create. You will need to consider how to present the information you're producing. Should it have pages or be a single-page continuous document? Will it be used for making a neat table or list? Or can it be shown with images as a slideshow? Different IT tools or software applications are suited to different tasks. For example, word processing tools like Microsoft Word are suited to creating reports, letters, review documents, posters, newsletters, or long text files. While Microsoft Excel is best suited to financial accounts presentation. And presentation applications like Microsoft Office PowerPoint is the most appropriate for making presentations. It is important to select the right application for your task. Click on each application to learn more about its features and functions. With a word processing application like Microsoft Word, you can create a document, then store it, display it on a screen, modify it by entering commands and characters from the keyboard, or print it on a printer. Most word processor applications have a full range of features that allow you to edit, format, and layout your document for presentation and printing. Some of the most common features are insert, delete, cut, copy and paste text, search for and replace a particular word or phrase, create and insert graphics, create a layout, insert tables with numerical data, use advanced functions like macros which facilitate fast work, review documents with tools like track changes, compare and merge. Check spelling and grammar using the grammar and spelling function. Create tables of contents and indexes. Edit 2 or more documents at the same time. Presentation software such as Microsoft Office PowerPoint is an excellent tool to show a combination of graphics and text and to specify when, where and how they are to appear. Sound and animations can also be added. The produced presentations are often used to display presentation slides on a large screen or monitor to provide a way to show and discuss it with an entire audience. With a spreadsheet application such as Microsoft Office Excel, you can calculate and present numeric information. Spreadsheets are traditionally used to track and calculate revenues and expenses for businesses and individuals. Spreadsheet packages have built-in formulas, automatic formatting, and graphing capabilities. Communication and email management software, like Microsoft Outlook, are important applications that enable real-time and up-to-date communications with colleagues, clients, and partners. They include email, chat, and instant messaging programs, and have features that assist with contact and task management. To carry out an IT task successfully, you need to consider some potential issues: access to information, copyright ownership, permission for use, the availability of resources such as time, money, skilled personnel, and technology. For example, if you are copying information from a website, it is an expected standard that you obtain the permission of the owners. Similarly, you might have to purchase imagery that is copyrighted, and so this has budget implications for your task. It is often the case that even simple or easy tasks can be delayed because of a lack of resources that are taken for granted. For example, poor internet connectivity. Before you commit to a completion time for your task, make sure you consider the issues we have mentioned here. Make sure you look into the cost of images, printing, and courier and postal delivery if required, before coming to your final budget estimate. You should also consider that the people who will be receiving the product of your task may face technical difficulties while trying to access it. For example, if you create your product in a newer version of software that is not completely compatible with the older version, your audience may not be able to view your work at all. You should verify the optimum way of delivering your product with least difficulty for all kinds of audiences to access. There are other needs to consider also. For example, in John's case, the event has moved to a new venue in the city, so he includes a small map giving directions with the invitation. Ensure that the task you're planning for can be accomplished with the IT tools available to you. The more significant costs involved are often due to the required purchase of hardware or software. Knowledge check. Now that you have examined the different issues that can affect your IT task, we can look at the selection of the IT systems that are most suited. There is very often a choice of IT systems and applications that can carry out a given IT task. Choosing the best application for the particular task can come down to a preference for familiarity or skill set and budget limitations. For example, the Microsoft Office Word, PowerPoint, and Excel packages can all present an analysis of sales data. The tool you choose to present the data is influenced by the skills you have, the resources available, and the advantages of presenting the information in different ways to your audience. It is also true to say that some applications are more flexible in performing certain functions. You should research the different applications available in case they offer functions you think your task might require you to use. Even if not immediately, you may want a feature at some point in the near future. In this topic, you learned what would help you select the appropriate IT systems for your task. Once you have selected your IT application, it is important to find out if your plan is compliant with company and legal requirements. In this topic, you will learn about the possible legal or organizational limitations that you would have to consider while doing your task. An IT task may have legal parameters and may require you to follow legal and organizational guidelines. For example, John is required to follow brand guidelines for the client companies he works for, and he must ensure any artwork used abides by copyright laws. Similarly, you should be aware of your company's in-house style or brand guidelines when creating a document. Let's look at John's case again. He chooses a picture for the invitation from a website. The photographs are copyrighted by the owners, and he must purchase a licensed version that he can use. John also uses his client's branding guidelines before selecting colours and fonts for the invitation.
Another legal issue to be aware of is to ensure the legal use of software. You can buy software for which you will be given a license, or you can choose to use open source software for which you do not need to purchase a license.
In this topic, you learned that before you set out to do your task, you should consider whether you are adhering to the legal or branding guidelines and constraints that may apply to your task.
Knowledge check.
You have gone through all the steps involved in preparing for your task. This topic deals with completion of the task.
John has a checklist for creating and sending the invitation. He needs to ensure he has the names and email addresses of the clients and staff members, the approved text for the invite, and the purchased licensed images.
To complete the task, you should use the checklist you created earlier to confirm that you have completed all the steps involved. He then lays out the invitation, and before inserting the imagery, he checks he has the right permissions for distribution. Before sending the invitation, John verifies the names, employee names, and his email lists. He then uses the email feature to send the invitation. John has used all the IT tools and techniques discussed in this lesson to complete the task. You have now completed the first lesson of this module, Improving Productivity Using IT Skills. In this lesson, you learned the steps involved in completing an IT task. A reminder of these steps is: you first need to define the purpose of the task. You then plan the task based on issues that could affect what you are producing or distributing. You choose an appropriate IT tool or application to perform your task. You verify that your task is in line with legal and organizational requirements, and complete your task in line with these. Congratulations! You have now completed the first lesson in the Productivity Management module. Click on the Exit button in the lower right corner to leave this lesson.